Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols. Well. Today, let's talk about alien protocols, shall we? Recently, we've been very blessed to see a lot of videos come out from the Department of Defense, the UFO videos from several years ago, the recent videos, the just overwhelming amount of news coverage about the realistic fact that UFOs, advanced aerial vehicles, are visiting us and are dancing around our military, especially around the Navy recently, but oftentimes around nuclear sites, interacting with different machines and systems, leaving evidence, and even people from within the government who worked on UFO programs like Luis Elizondo are speaking out. It's wonderful to see all of this information happen, and the big UFO report is coming out, and I think it makes us confront the fact that we are being visited. And that begs the next incredibly important question. Not just who are they. In order to find out more information about them, we must communicate. Now, some think because of the lack of communication that we should treat them like a threat. That's an easy way to garner more funding, I'm sure. But like we teach our kids, if our kids meet another kid that's different than them, we don't tell our kids to treat those kids like a threat. No. We teach our kids to communicate with those that are different than them. But there seems to be a problem. As far as we know, the US government, the Russian government, the Chinese government, Israeli government, South American governments have not been able to have continued communication. And it's a fascinating question. Why? Why can't we have communication with these advanced vehicles and the advanced intelligences behind them? Now, of course, the US government and other governments have incredible secret black projects that no doubt are absolutely staggering. But they don't account for all of the sightings we've been seeing. And especially the ones recently with all the different geometric shapes, and there's a long history. I don't need to, educate you guys. Since you're following this channel, you know what I'm talking about. And in UFO history, there's a tremendous amount of interaction with these craft, these beings. From like the Allagash incident, where they flashed their flashlight and then the craft flashes back. And it went back and forth, I think 2, maybe 3 times. And that exact situation happens time and time again throughout UFO history. But it seems like people don't know what to do next. What is the next move? Mimicry is very fundamental communication. And there's a form of communication between all beings, all living creatures. There's a way to communicate. There's certain universal signs. Nature employs these signs. You know how animals poof up when they're scared and, want to be more intimidating. Sounds show intent. Physical postures, all sorts of different things. But it seems like with the visitors, there's a real communication issue. It's not because they don't know how to speak English. you can presume that they know every language on the planet. You can presume, if they're more advanced than us in intelligence and knowledge, that they can manipulate their reality and our reality in ways that would be just mind-boggling to us. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it going to take to have communication? You know, the first country or group that has continued communication with these advanced civilizations will lead humanity at this very pivotal time in human history, and this pivotal time for our biosphere. And society has been conditioned over the past 50 years, since the Brookings Institute study came out like over 50 years ago, that said revealing extraterrestrials as a reality would cause panic in society. Nowadays, it's very different. It wouldn't be social unrest and riots in the street. The next day, people would go back to work, everything would continue. But the mystery, the excitement, the reality would make humans reflect on ourselves and on our planet, and it would inspire kids, it would inspire the next generation of science advances. But once again, we have to ask ourselves, who would they communicate with? Now, I would think it very unlikely that they would land on the White House or the United Nations. I think UFO and ET history has shown that there seems to be a proclivity for them to interact with, I guess you could say, like-minded individuals. But there are several groups that have had not only contact, like indisputable contact, but have had very intense contact. More so than just seeing craft. Seeing and interacting with beings. Now this is hardcore stuff. It's hardcore to grasp. And you can be certain it's hardcore to deal with. And like you wouldn't want to scare a child, really scare a child, perhaps they wouldn't want to scare us. They wouldn't want to harm us, perhaps. Perhaps there are conditions whereby communication is possible. But the parameters have to be set. The participants have to be a certain type of participant. And then I think contact is inevitable. And it will be incremental. It won't be all at once. You won't get all the information all at once. We won't get a syllabus, where they are from, who they are, what they can do, what are they doing here, blah, blah, blah. We can think that we know them, or what they are, or where they're from. Even if they tell us, it might be very hard to know for sure. Any advanced intelligence is going to be an advanced intelligence and could easily fool us. Not just our senses, but our mind. So who would they want to talk to? Let's go back to that question. Possibly like-minded individuals? Those in positions of their interest? Maybe the powerful, or the opposite, the powerless, the innocent. They do have a tendency to visit schools. There's numerous cases of craft and beings visiting schools. Some incredible cases. Maybe they will only communicate with those who know how to communicate, those who know the protocols. Maybe they will only communicate with those who initiate the proper protocols. Maybe they'll only communicate when it's appropriate, when it's safe for all the participants, when it's efficient. But it will and is happening. It will continue to happen. And I think there will continue to be these incremental advances, but it's ramping up big time in the past few years. But if they don't talk and continue not to talk, what does that mean? You know, actions speak very loudly as well. And their actions certainly tell us something. And we can deduce quite a few things from just their actions, and even from their movements, and from their composition. Reductionist logic can teach us a tremendous amount about these visitors. What do you guys think? Would love to hear your thoughts.